Is $11.99 in the house today or no? Do we love George Gresham or no? You see, George lost a little weight. I heard he's got a modeling contract with GQ. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I heard. I've worked with a lot of labor leaders all across this country for many years. George Gresham is a national treasure. Let's give him a round of applause. And let's thank Maria Castaneda for her leadership. Pleasure to be with her. Helen Shaw, pleasure to be with Helen, who does great work with us in the state. And then when I have to get something done, I know where to go. I go to Deb Pucci to get something done. Let's give her a round of applause. I want to begin by saying thank you to you, my brothers and sisters. We have been together a long time. It is now about 35 years that we've worked together. You're supposed to say, you don't look that old. Let's do that again. We worked together for 35 years. Oh, you're just saying that. We started my father's first campaign, 1982. He was running for governor. He was the underdog. He was running against Ed Koch, and Ed Koch was at the top of his game. And my father needed some courageous people who believed in a progressive vision for New York, and 1199 was there when nobody else was there. And we will never forget it. We lost my father 2 years ago. I miss him every day. Today is his birthday. And he would be so happy to know that I am here with you today. There's no place else that I would rather be. You were with my father, then you were with me for the Attorney General's race, which was a hard race. Then you were with me for governor, and you've been with me every day since, and I can't thank you enough, and I just hope my service makes you proud. Now, you're going to do contract negotiations. You're going to be strong. You're going to hold your ground. You're going to get what the workers deserve. That's exactly, I know you will be. It's no ordinary time because the middle class is under attack in this country. The truth is that the middle class and the working families that have been suffering, they've been going backwards for 20 years. The wage increases for the middle class have never kept cost with the rate of inflation, college affordability, housing, rent, insurance. We have the worst income inequality, the rich are getting richer, and everyone else is going backwards. And the middle class is angry. And Trump, frankly, played to that anger in the campaign. He said to the middle class, I'm your guy. I'm going to support you, middle class. And a lot of the middle class went with him. And you know what he did as soon as he got into office? He did the exact opposite. He did a tax cut for the richest Americans. 80% of the tax cut went to the richest 1% of Americans. And then he gave the corporations a big tax cut. And I love what he did. He said, well, we're going to give it to the corporations, and we think the corporations will then turn around and give it to the workers in terms of higher wages. They used to call that trickle down when Ronald Reagan did it. Yeah, maybe the corporations will turn around and give the workers higher wages. Or maybe the corporations will put the money in their pocket. Maybe they'll declare dividends. Maybe they'll buy a house in France. Maybe they'll give themselves higher salaries. If you wanted to give a tax cut to the workers, you know what you would have done? You would have given a tax cut to the workers. That's what you would have done. It is no ordinary time because this nation has some of the worst social and racial divisions we have ever had before. They've declared war on people who don't look like them or believe what they believe in terms of religion or come from countries that they like. They have 800,000 dreamers, young people born in this country. They've never known any other country. And Trump is holding them hostage so he can build his wall on Mexico. And I say, never should that Congress agree to that wall. That's not what we're about. We have ICE, the Federal Immigration Enforcement, that is trampling rights for people all across this state. You heard about the case of the pizza delivery man last week. We got him a lawyer and we have a stay. They went to deport him in 24 hours. You have it out on Long Island and Suffolk where people are afraid to leave their home. You have it on farms in upstate New York where they're sending in ICE workers and they're taking the farm workers right off the farm. No warrant, no notice, no due process, nothing. This is the first state to set up what we call a Liberty Defense Fund so everybody has a lawyer because everybody has legal rights if they're in this state. You have more KKK groups, Ku Klux Klan, than you've ever had. You have more white supremacist groups. You've had, even in this state, an 80% rise in anti-Semitic activity, believe it or not. He's pulling the country apart. He's taking our greatest strength, which is our diversity, and they're trying to make it a weakness. That's what they did in Puerto Rico. That's why they abandoned Puerto Rico. Because to them, Puerto Ricans are different. What they don't remember is Puerto Ricans are American citizens just like you and just like me. And I'm proud that New York has done more for Puerto Rico, and we've done what the federal government should have done. We were there the next day. We brought help. We brought support. And it's no ordinary time for 1199, because 1199 is no ordinary union. You are not just a healthcare union. You are the progressive engine for change in the state of New York, and the state of New York is the progressive engine for change in this nation. 1199 is the organizing force. You're the advocacy force. You're the political muscle when we need to get something done. That's why Martin Luther King had such a great respect for your union. And remember, it's Martin Luther King who said the labor movement was the principal force that transformed misery and despair into hope and progress. That's what 1199 does. And I want you to understand and I want you to appreciate what you have done here in New York over these past few years. You have always been at the front of the parade for progressive change. Everything we've done because you were there, supporting it, making it happen, organizing around this state, working and making a difference. We said we were going to help not just union members, but all middle class, all working families. We said we were going to raise the minimum wage from $9 to $15, the highest in the United States. And we started the campaign, the Mario Cuomo Economic Justice Campaign. And George and I got in that RV of yours, that big purple monster. And we drove all over the state. And we had rallies all over the state educating people. You can't live on $9 an hour. You can't raise a family on $18,000 a year in New York. But because of what you did, that salary is going to $30,000. That's going to change people's lives. We worked together. We passed the first and best paid family leave program in the United States of America. We worked together. We passed the first free college program, free college tuition for middle-class families. We worked together. We passed the best gun control law after Sandy Hook 5 years ago. The nation still hasn't done what we've done. If this nation passed what we passed, the SAFE Act, you wouldn't have seen Parkland, Florida. You wouldn't have seen all these innocents die if they followed New York's lead. We passed the first special prosecutor for police misconduct. When you have a person who's killed and he's unarmed or she's unarmed, we have the only special prosecutor in the United States. What we did in Puerto Rico, you know who organized that effort? You know who was the first one on the plane? You know who picked up the donations? 1199 brought that help to Puerto Rico. We had a healthcare system in crisis in Brooklyn. And we had to go to Washington and get $300 million to stabilize our healthcare system in Brooklyn. You tried to get $300 million out of those boys in Washington, it's almost an act of violence to get that money. You know who got the $300 million? 1199 got the $300 million. You get these contracts done, and you get these good contracts done, and then we have to get to work, because we are facing the most important election in our lifetime. This is an election that is going to determine the character of this nation. This is an election that's going to say who we are as a people and what we believe. This is an election where we're going to stand up and we're going to say, we resent your division. We resent your racism. We resent your separation. We are the party of inclusion. We believe in community. We believe in black and brown and white and Asian all together as one. We believe that together we are going to succeed. We are all immigrants in New York, and we stand up for all immigrants. And we're not going to let you divide us. We're going to come together stronger than ever before. And we're going to win these elections, and we're going to elect a Democratic Congress to stop this president. We're going to elect a Democratic Senate, and we're going to make New York the Democratic capital of the nation and send a message to Washington: stop the hate, stop the fear, raise the middle class, raise the working families, bring back justice, bring back America, bring back the New York way, and we're going to do it together. Thank you, and God bless you.